situation where not enough Americans have access to a real education, have access to mentorship, and have access to capital that's not predatory. You need to have, I vehemently disagree with President Obama when he called the kids out there thugs. Those aren't thugs. I don't agree with the violence. I don't agree with the destruction. But what I saw is I saw young men out there that you're so crushed that if you're throwing rocks at men with guns, then you're saying out of frustration we're not being heard. And we have to look at that and say, why have we pushed them to the point that the only way to speak to us is to send up smoke signals? So I think, Baltimore is something, unfortunately, that can happen in a lot of cities around this country, and we have to address the real issue and make sure that all Americans have a real opportunity to participate in the American dream, and that starts with an education, an opportunity, and that starts with access to mentorship and capital that is not predatory. And we have a bigger issue here because we have too many Americans living at or below the poverty line. So I must vehemently disagree with President Obama. Those aren't thugs. Those are Americans that have been let down. Those are Americans that we have positioned to fail. Those are Americans that we need to support and position to succeed.
Now, you being a black owner in media, how does that feel?
Well, look, there's not enough ownership in African-American owned media, which is why I filed 2 lawsuits. I've only filed 2 lawsuits in my life. I filed a $20 billion lawsuit against Comcast and Time Warner for racial discrimination in contracting, for not doing business with 100% African-American owned media, and I filed a $10 billion lawsuit against AT&T and DirecTV for not doing business with 100% African-American owned media. Unless all of our voices are heard and widely distributed, then you don't have a true democracy. And that's shameful because there are brave men and women who actually have died for this country in the name of democracy. But if you're not hearing the voices of women and Asians and Hispanics and people from the gay community and African Americans, and it's not being heard in a way that it's truly being financed and distributed as others, then we don't have a real democracy, and that's unacceptable.
This is Nayron Wright. I'm at NCTA's INTX Chicago Expo 2015 with Byron Island.
And in 1979, he is still in diapers.